Hi, I'm Tommy.
I'm Nick.
And we're back with round 2 of the Summer Movie Smackdown. We have 8 movies to go over. So, what's first?
The Fifth Chord versus A Very Natural Thing.
The Fifth Chord is from 1971. It's directed by Luigi Bazzoni. This is a giallo, and it follows a drunken journalist played by Franco Nero, who gets caught into like a string of murders, and he's trying to figure out who the murderer is and stop people from dying, basically.
Giallo films are very hit or miss for me.
Right.
I either find them very entertaining and stylish or very boring.
Yeah.
And this was on the first end. I loved the production design of this, particularly all the stairs.
I agree. All the stairs were very nice, and the use of just architecture in general throughout was very cool.
It was very eye-catching.
Yeah.
And there are other visual elements, like it opens with like this cool fisheye, which I also am usually very much against, but it worked.
It worked in the context of what was happening. Stylistically the film was very intriguing. Even the score is like really tense and
score
like frightening.
Was by Ennio Morricone. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Legend. I did think the characters were a little hard to follow and hard to decipher who was who throughout.
Yeah,
I agree. Be fault. We watched a dubbed version, which always sort of throws things off.
For you not to make love, you know.
When you've been drinking, impossible.
Pretty straightforward story-wise.
Yeah, straightforward. I think where it's most effective is in its tense moments when people are in danger.
Yeah, there's a really scary scene involving a child sort of being chased into like this crawl space area.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Very claustrophobic. There's also a scene with this woman, and she can't walk.
Yeah. She
can't walk, and then she's basically like hears stuff in her house and like starts crawling, and it's very effective.
So yeah, I think it's pretty effective in sort of these murder sequences, and then the final reveal of who's doing it was just kind of meh.
It wasn't my favorite. I think it could have ended on like a bigger punch, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Throughout, it was entertaining, so I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Summary. It takes place.
Yeah,
New Year's.
It's New Year's. It's cold. So it does have that going for it against it. What would you give this movie?
3.5.
A 3.5?
I liked it.
I would give this 3 stars.
A Very Natural Thing is from 1974, directed by Christopher Larkin, and is about a gay ex-monk who meets another man, and we see their relationship grow and unravel over the course of a year regarding the issues of commitment and sexual
infidelity
and things like that.
I thought this movie was pretty okay. I think the premise of it is pretty interesting because we have an ex-monk who is gay. It actually doesn't really get into that too much. No. I mean, it has religious imagery like cut in like the beginning. But other than that plot point is not much of a plot point. And then I also found the relationship between the two men to be frustrating. And kind of annoying to watch.
Yeah, but realistic. More realistic than you see in like modern gay romance films.
Yeah.
But it was still, they complain a lot and they're kind of cloying.
Okay, you want to skip dinner?
Hell no. Look, I'll only be gone for a little while.
Well, yeah, one is extremely unlikable.
Yeah. He's, like, one is very afraid of commitment and wants to explore
It's, that's fine, but they don't talk about these things, and one is very closed off and is set in his ways, and the other one just doesn't understand that, and they don't come together at all.
Right.
They just kind of do what they want to do.
Yeah. And then I like that the movie recognizes that, and they, spoiler alert, don't end up together. I think it's over-reliant on montages, sort of the passage of time and the way their relationship evolves.
Yeah, and I just think their relationship took too long to get out of the way.
Yeah, because the core, not the core, but like the final relationship is just sort of tacked on at the end, and it felt strange to me.
Yeah, the final relationship that's at the end was more interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like dynamic-wise, because you have this new man that comes who has a son and an ex-wife, and their dynamic was very interesting. And
Yeah.
I liked the dynamic between those two more. So I wish we would have cut the first part of this movie down so we can get more of that. But it does end on a happy note, which is nice. Nobody dies.
Yeah.
And the ending sequence is very beautiful. I would give this movie 3 stars.
Yeah. I'd give it 3.
Oh, the Fifth Chord versus A Very Natural Thing. Which one are we going with?
I like the Fifth Chord more.
I agree. I like the Fifth Chord more. I think it's stylistically a much better film. I think the story is better constructed. It beats it out.
Yep, it's better.
It's chocolate.
The next battle is between A Snake of June versus A Perfect Getaway. First up, A Snake of June. This is from 2002. It's directed by Shinya Tsukamoto. And it follows a woman who gets blackmailed by a mysterious person. He sends her a picture of her touching her nunu. And basically we follow this blackmailer and her. He's like stalking her and like making her do crazy things.
Yes, blackmail.
It's really sadistic and interesting.
I liked this.
Okay.
I think has this very cool sort of surrealist, voyeuristic, blue.
Very blue.
Very blue.
Blue by Joni.
No.
Oh, okay.
More like Saw bathroom blue.
Yeah.
I don't know, just like this nightmarish. I don't know, it was weird. It was like really weird.
It was weird. It was gritty. It was gross.
It was gross, yeah.
Got it! Oh!
I thought the lead performance from Asuka Kurosawa was very good.
I thought it was really good. I think it relied a lot on just her face and everything that was happening in the moment. She made it seem real.
Yep.
And it was uncomfortable to watch at times. There was this one scene at the beginning where blackmailer makes her put on the skirt and kind of parade around with, I don't want to spoil it, but something happens and it's uncomfortable and
she gets under your skin.
Gets under your skin. She sells the fuck out of it.
Yeah, she does.
This has a lot to say about voyeurism and pleasure and
sex, sexual manipulation.
And then a lot of it has to do with her and her husband living unfulfilled lives and an unfulfilled marriage.
そこもだったら私やるから私の方が時間あるんだからいいのいいのもうこれやりたくてうずうずして帰ってきたんだから
And how they come together in a very weird, perverse world setting, all of that.
Yeah, I really just like the visual. There's like these cool cone head things.
Yeah, where they're like watching sadistic acts.
Yeah. I'm speechless.
Well, a lot of what we need to say would be it's not suitable for YouTube.
Yeah.
So that is also a problem. So, You might just have to go watch this
Just
one on your
watch
own
it. Just watch it.
and come up with your own opinion on it. So, what would you give this movie?
I would give it a 3.
I would give this a 3.5. I liked it. I thought it set out to do what it wanted to do,
Yep.
and yeah.
Short, like 70 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's really short.
Yeah. A Perfect Getaway is from 2009, directed by David Twohy, and it is about a couple played by Steve Zahn and Mila Jovovich who are on their honeymoon in Hawaii, and they come across another couple played by Timothy Olyphant and some girl. They find out that there is someone going around killing couples. Each couple thinks it's the other couple.
Yeah, and there's also another couple that they run into.
Played by Chris Hemsworth and the girl from Scream.
Yeah.
Set 4.
The cop.
The cop. This was not very good.
No.
No. It starts pretty entertaining.
Yeah. Well, it starts crunchy.
The whole thing's crunchy.
The whole thing is very crunchy, but it had an entertaining aspect at the beginning.
Yeah, it's, this late 2000s trashy thriller.
Very
in
trashy.
Hawaii.
Well, it starts off with just like this wedding montage that's really stupid and corny.
Yeah, the performances were struggling, except the standout is Miss Gina Scruggs.
Who?
Miss Gina Scruggs.
But yeah, Mila Jovovich.
She was
awful.
Well, yeah.
Alright. Na 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 na.
Awful line delivery.
Let's get it together before you want to read.
Yeah, Steve Zahn was pretty bad too. He plays a screenplay writer.
Yeah, he was pretty bad.
And Timothy Olyphant is sort of a wacky
Marine bro. Dude.
Who can't be killed. They keep talking about.
Yeah. There was a lot of red herrings in this movie.
Yeah. Especially with like the Chris Hemsworth. What is his name? Lake?
Kale.
Lake or something. Or Fern.
Kale.
Fern?
I don't know what it was. It was something like that.
They're like hippies. They're like wild hippies. Hitchhiking.
Yeah. Well, they were annoying. They were just there to be a red herring.
Yeah, and it was clear that wasn't them.
Yeah.
Twist was pretty obvious.
It was very obvious. We both
called
exactly
it. Called it.
Yeah.
And then it sort of does this
Flashback to the future.
when it's revealed who the killers are, then we see everything from their perspective the whole time, and that goes on way too long.
Way too long, and there's this weird blue filter over it where their eyes are like black and like devoid. It's like
night vision.
Security camera vision or whatever it is.
Shot on ring.
All the transitions. You remember when they would like disappear and then reappear?
Yeah. The crossfading.
It was really bad and just awful.
They come across these girls.
Me too. Oh, I have one. No. What should we do? Should we go up or should we just go back down? This is supposed to be the best service ever. I don't care. Did you hear about Wahoo?
Yeah, the whole twist, it just gets really overblown by the end when they're like fighting on top
It gets
of this
it
cliff.
gets unbelievable, and half the stuff doesn't make sense, and the characters suck.
I'm trying to figure out why I wrote the Kaya video.
The BJ stuff.
The what?
The Kaya video? Are you talking about
BJ?
Yeah, where she was like, "I'll give you another BJ in the car."
Oh no. He was figuring her, and then he hung her dog up from the tree.
But I might dig into that before eating chicken omelet surprise.
It's bad. It sucks. It sucks.
It
2
sucks.
stars. It sucks.
I agree. 2 stars. It's not gonna win this round.
No. It was summary though.
Yeah, it was summary. So it's like of June 1.
Yes.
All right, there you have it. Next up, we have Road Games versus Rhapsody in August. First, Road Games. This is from 1981. It's directed by Richard Franklin. This follows a truck driver who witnesses a murder, and so he starts following this man in a green van. And there's some other characters that come along on the way. That's about it.
I did not like this movie.
I agree. I thought this was awful in almost every way.
I didn't think it was that bad, but I didn't like it. It's sort of the amalgamation of the worst aspects of 80s horror movies like this. These really annoying comedic bits that aren't funny at all.
Yeah.
And like this really unlikable lead character who's not funny.
He talks to himself the entire runtime, and after the first 5 minutes, it gets really annoying.
Just because I drive a truck does not make me a truck driver.
It's not cheeky.
I did not like him at all. He's played by
Stacy Keach,
who is not charismatic or interesting, in my opinion, at all. And then on top of that, the score was the worst score I've ever heard in a movie. Ever.
A lot of harmonica.
It was a fantasy, western, military score. It made no sense. It repeated the same things over and over again. It was awful.
It was very like Lord of the Rings, cheap.
It was bad.
It was like Goat Story.
Yes.
Like my ears were like hurting.
Yeah.
From his voice, him talking to himself, to the score playing over top of it.
Yeah. He also has this dog that it cuts away to, like, like, it's a cute dog, but...
Cute dog, it shouldn't have been in the movie, and I feel really bad for it.
The chase scenes are, like, really stupid.
It's really bad. The chase scenes are really bad, and they make absolute no sense.
Like this one with the boat, this random guy with a boat.
And he was acting crazy, and the truck driver was acting crazy, and there was no need for them to be ramming each other off the road, but here they are doing that.
Yeah. I am not a fan of horror comedies, or...
Not at all.
Not really.
I can't think of one that I like.
Oh, well, Scream.
I wouldn't say that's like horror comedy.
Right.
When I think of horror comedy, I think of just like shit comedy.
They try to build this romance with Stacy Keach and Jamie Lee Curtis, which is just like...
And there's like 30 years between them.
Right, age gap.
The sets were horrible. The costuming was horrible.
I think the Australian outback setting is kind of interesting and fun.
That's fun, but then you get to like a gas station or something, and it's decorated terribly, and it looks cheap, and the style is not there at all. This director doesn't have a style at all. If 80s is your style, then I'm not gonna like a movie.
There's some cool stuff at night. I don't remember exactly what.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Well, the setting that they were in was nice, so of course it's gonna look good.
He is in Australia transporting meat, just like raw, like pigs on like hooks.
Yeah.
That meat rotted.
Oh, and there were
Gutted.
Maggots.
Yeah.
It's getting beat up. I know there's some crack in there letting the heat in. I know that truck stinks. It was mostly just annoying.
It was very annoying. I wanted to turn it off at multiple times.
The third act, no. I don't remember what it was. So they end up at this they're following... Stacy Keach picks up Jamie Lee Curtis and they start following this van.
Right.
They see it stopped at this gas station. They stop with it. They think he's taking a shit in the bathroom. So Stacy Keach goes in to attack him while he's taking a shit.
Yeah.
But it's a different guy. And while he was attacking him, taking a shit,
Jamie Lee.
the actual guy has stolen Jamie Lee.
Right.
And so then Stacy Keach is following him to win Jamie Lee, who he loves.
It all comes down to this final chase scene where they're going 5 miles per hour.
They are going really slow.
Less than 5 miles per hour in this alleyway.
In the alley.
It's not fun. It's boring. I was ready for it.
It sucked.
No. It sucked.
Whoever writes your movies, not good.
Horrible. And this is rated really high. Which is...
Not good.
makes no sense in my brain.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Mind control.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I kind of get that. It's very not for us movie.
Sure. What would you give this movie?
2.
I would give this movie 1.5 stars. I absolutely hated it. I thought it was abhorrent.
I got a heart like a truck. It's been drugged through the mud.
Next, we have Rhapsody in August from 1991, directed by Akira Kurosawa.
Mm-hmm.
And it is about an older woman taking care of her 4 grandchildren over the summer. They are in Nagasaki. And she gets a letter notifying her that her long-lost brother is dying.
Yeah.
And so she is sort of contemplating going to Hawaii to visit him before he dies.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also see the grandkids discovering more about her and their grandfather who died in the bombing of Nagasaki during World War II. I really liked this.
I did too. I thought this was lovely.
Yeah, it was very lovely.
Yeah.
I think it's a different version of Kurosawa that at least I have seen thus far. A lot of it is about the lasting effects of the bombing of Nagasaki.
Yeah.
And about forgiveness in terms of like, so the main character's brother is now in America,
Mm-hmm.
and his son is the one communicating with her. And he is American, and so...
そいね、この人、アメリカ人やろ本当にうちの兄さんやろか。
手紙に書いてあっ
There's conflict there.
Yeah.
Or there's at least discussion of conflict there.
Yeah.
The kids are... I really liked the relationship between the grandchildren and the grandma.
Yeah. I think that was my favorite part.
Yeah, and especially in how realistic it is, because the kids are sort of like bratty,
Mm-hmm.
not in like an annoying way, but in
a really
kids.
relevant way.
Yeah, but there's like a very clear love between all of them that grows and has very, very sweet moments.
うまか。うまか。みんなと一緒に食べるご飯は格別ばい。
I think the grandma character herself is so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way she tells all these stories
Mm-hmm.
to her 4 grandkids and how they interact with her.
Mm-hmm.
I find it very sweet and lovely.
おばあちゃんの話ではこの滝壺にはカッパが住んでるんだってやめてよそんな話
It looks beautiful.
It looks very beautiful. It doesn't have a lot of
Like flares.
tricks and flares.
There are
Yeah.
a few.
There's a few moments of that which I enjoyed.
Yeah,
How minimal it was.
And it was very impactful in the context of what was being talked about, because
Yeah.
the visual flare moments are when she is recounting the day, she remembers the day of the bombing.
It adds a lot to what's going on. I will say the setting is very beautiful. They're kind of out in the forest, away from mountain, away from everything, and Nagasaki is over the hill.
Yeah.
So I like the juxtaposition and how far they were from the city, because we see them walking around Nagasaki a lot, just talking about history and the bombing and things like of that nature, and I really liked that. For some reason, like if a film has like an historical aspect to it, I usually like it a lot more.
Well, it just adds layers.
It does add layers.
原子爆弾を落とされてもここは残ったのいいえ立て直したのよでもあの時のまま残してあるのもあるわ
It's really just like an anti-war messaging.
Yeah.
And there's a quote.
待ってみんな戦争のせいたい戦争に勝つために人は何でしよるいずれ己は滅ぼすことがです
There is also another dynamic with the parents who work for the brother's son, who is Clark, who we do meet and is played by Richard Gere. which I think is the weirdest part of the movie. He has his usual like charm to him, but he is playing someone who's half Japanese at least, and so it is just like a little.
He sticks out like a sore thumb.
He does stick out. Not in a way that I would say is not intentional, but
right. Yeah.
It is just a little off. The ending is really great.
The ending is phenomenal.
The ending's phenomenal.
I really liked it.
Ends with a good punch, and
Yeah.
it was just great. Kurosawa makes good movies. Who knew?
He makes good ass movies.
I would give this a 4.
Oh really? I would give this 3.5. I really loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So this beats Road Games with ease.
With ease.
With ease.
No discussion needed for it. Y'all should definitely watch Rhapsody in August.
Yeah.
Or any Kurosawa. Our next battle is between Summer Interlude versus Appointment with Death. First up, Summer Interlude. This is directed by Ingmar Bergman. It's from 1951. This follows a ballerina who receives a diary, and it's the diary of her old fling lover, and then she starts reminiscing about a summer they spent together, and how their relationship grew and the things that happened over the summer. And yeah, that's basically the plot.
I thought this was great.
I agree. I think Ingmar is amazing.
Well, yes.
As always.
What? Isn't he amazing?
Yeah, he is amazing.
Is she amazing?
I thought Marie was a great character. This bitch is crazy.
She had some crazy moments.
She was a great ballerina.
Amazing. I really did like the performance aspects.
Yes.
I thought it was shot very beautifully.
Yeah, the shots of the stage were like very vast and
Yeah.
everything. It was really cool.
It was. The setting of this summer romance is beautiful. There was a lot of beautiful shots that made me gasp.
You get all the sun, blue water, even through the black and white.
Yeah, which is nice. The main romance I particularly enjoyed.
It was a little quick, but whatever.
Yeah.
He has a dog with some really crazy hair.
Yeah. Henrik.
That's his name.
Oh.
The dog is named Gruffman.
Yeah.
He was great. She had a great look to her.
She was gorgeous.
She also had an Ingrid look to her as well.
She did have an Ingrid look. A very Bergman type actress.
Yes. It deals with a lot of the same Bergman themes of like death, loneliness, isolation, loved ones dying.
Yeah. All of that.
Trauma, aging.
Dreams.
Art, not being taken seriously in your art.
Yeah. But the thing about this one is usually Bergman's movies are like darker, and which this does get dark, but for a lot of the runtime it's like light and airy, and we're frolicking through
There's a lot
the
of
field
frolicking.
and
Oi, 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 oi. It is so sorry,
Yeah, it is very light, and then there's sort of this moment where
it all comes to a head.
Yeah. And then it's like,
then-
yay, love, and then
Yeah.
it's sad.
Which I like that juxtaposition.
Yeah, I like the shift works.
It worked really well.
There's a funny moment when they start to argue and he runs away.
Oh yeah, he runs away in
He ran.
the most ridiculous fashion.
Jag vill aldrig se dig mer, din idiot. Dra så långt vägen räcker.
There is an uncle character. It's her uncle, but it's clearly just a close friend of her mother.
Yeah.
And he was clearly very into her mother, and therefore sort of is very into her.
Well, yeah, it's hinted that there's some
And so
insidious things happening between them. They don't show it. They just hint at it.
with him.
With him,
Yeah.
which adds,
Sort of he has like this ominous vibe to him.
it's very.
He's
ominous.
a pervert.
He's a pervert. Yeah.
Alltså, du tycker att jag är äcklig?
Ja, det tycker jag.
Kanske rent av smittat av sig.
Ja, det gjorde det.
It sort of ends on a downer, but in a good way.
Yeah, it becomes very melodramatic, and the colors of the black and white kind of change to like this darker, like depressing look to it, which was a really nice change.
I wouldn't say melodramatic.
I mean the colors, I guess. The lighting changes. When the story gets darker, the lighting gets darker.
Boom! Very good movie. Across the board. 10, 10, 10. Well, 7, 7, 7s across the board.
So what would you give this?
3.5.
I would give this movie 4 stars.
Oh.
So was motherhood really all that you had expected it to be? Is it harder than what you had expected? Or is it kind of, you know, right where you had planned it to be? Or had you really planned, or did you even know?
And lastly, we have Appointment with Death from 1988, directed by Michael Winner. This is a Poirot mystery from Agatha Christie with this very old, rude lady who bosses around all of her stepchildren and children-in-laws and everyone around her.
She's very nasty.
And everyone hates her, and she is killed on a vacation to the Holy Land, and Poirot has to figure out who did it.
Of course he's there.
Yeah. His ass is everywhere.
Yeah,
he's on the Nile, the Orient Express, the Tuscan Sun. This movie sucked. Everything about it doesn't work. It's totally incompetent. The director didn't know how to frame a shot. There's a pot on Carrie Fisher's butt. There was. The audio cuts out in random spots.
Yes, it does. It was like a TV movie with all these A-listers.
It opens with like this Full House Cheers jingle theme song.
Smile.
I do really like Piper Laurie. I think she adds...
Well, the cast is the best part.
Yeah, the cast is the best part. I think she adds a lot of camp.
A magnum of Louis Roederer Cristal, 1928.
And Laurie Bacall does as well.
Yeah. But I don't think this director directed them in a very good way.
No, he was horrible.
Yeah. Because they're entertaining alone, but if they were pushed... this movie was just bad. The script, everything.
Yeah, it's also that thing with like the struggles of a murder mystery when you have when you have a legendary actress, she's not going to just play a red herring role.
True. So that's true.
So it's kind of like, oh, I wonder who did it.
Yeah.
Is it this random guy who hasn't been in anything?
No.
Or is it Lauren Bacall?
He commands me to take tea.
But the lead character is this random doctor who, I guess the lead character. There's this random doctor who falls in love with one of the boring sons, and her name is Dr. King.
I wouldn't call her a lead.
I mean...
She's one of the more prominent ones.
Yeah. She's like shooting people. They're like these horrible canned romances. Carrie Fisher's cheating on her husband with the family's lawyer.
Well, now what if Lennox sees that? When can I use it with that inscription?
Whenever you want.
You want him to find out, don't you?
He was blackmailing Piper Laurie because she destroyed the will to give her inheritance between these kids.
It's very convoluted.
She was a prison wardress,
which is a warden, I'm assuming.
Yeah, for 15 years she was in prison and was like this leader, whatever. I would have liked to see Piper Laurie leading a prison ward.
Right, that would be fun.
Poirot is as gay as ever. There's some colonel he's hooking up with.
It's very explicitly gay.
I mean, he walks out of a car with a hurt back after seeing him.
Yeah.
Give me one good night on terra firma. I'll do anything you want tomorrow.
Well, let me see you in then.
Oh, yes.
The setting was odd.
It wasn't nice.
Yeah, because usually with these movies, like, these elaborate settings with this big cast.
You know,
And this was just kind of like, where are they? I don't know.
Another problem with it is usually the costuming is very extravagant and expensive and nice to look at, but the costuming was very boring.
The whole thing was cheap.
It felt really cheap, and then it was set in the
1937.
37, and we had actors that look like they're from the 80s.
Right, like there's like the whole iPhone face now.
Yeah.
Like Carrie Fisher is the 80s version of that. No shade towards her, but like
Carrie
does
Fisher,
not,
she
cannot
has
pull
an
off-
80s face.
Yeah, she cannot pull off 1930s.
No.
And she had nothing to do. I don't know why she would want to be in this. It's dry, like it's really dry.
These random cockroaches. There's like 4 or 5 cockroaches that come and drink some spilled wine.
The poison.
The poisoned wine, and they die.
And it also does this really annoying thing with like these murder mysteries where like before it happens, Poirot overhears conversation, this red herring conversation.
And
like,
he's
we have to kill her.
He's hearing every conversation.
You do see, don't you? She's got to be killed.
She's not even our mother.
The movie's stupid. It's dry. It's dragged out.
The mystery sucks. Oh my god! There at the end. There's like 3 separate scenes where, oh my god, they're gonna reveal the murderer. No, we're gonna move over here.
This is all very interesting. Indeed touching. But I'm expected for cocktails by Lord Peel in an hour and a half.
He gets them all together. He's like, I know who did it. But first, let's go to dinner. So they all go to dinner. I'm going to tell you who did it. But first, let's dance.
Yeah, and it's like...
Really, girl?
We could have cut 30 minutes off of this
Trim
movie
the fat.
and gotten to the boring conclusion that we got. Yeah, it wasn't good.
No. 2 stars.
I agree. I'll give this 2 stars.
So Summer Interlude wins. Again, with ease.
Yeah, there's these battles...
Sort of a wash.
It's a wash.
That's the most sensible thing you've said all morning.
Now we have to narrow down the winners of these matches.
First up, we have the Fifth Chord versus A Snake of June.
I am leaning towards the Fifth Chord. I think I liked that more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can go either way with this. I
Yeah.
would probably lean more towards A Snake of June. I liked both of these movies pretty equally, but based on the fact that A Snake of June is actually in summer.
Yeah, the June part.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, the Fifth Chord's New Year's. So we'll go with A Snake of June.
Okay, so A Snake of June is going forward. That means the Fifth Chord is donezo.
You did good.
But very good movie.
You had a good go at it. Thanks for your input.
Yeah.
So then we have Rhapsody in August versus Summer Interlude. This is hard. I want these to be the final 2.
I agree. This is very hard. That's just the way they stacked up, though.
Yeah. I had Rhapsody out of 4 and Summer Interlude at 3.5, but they're both I really liked them both. And then you're opposite?
I'm opposite, but I liked both of them. I honestly don't have a lot of problems with either one of these movies.
No, they're both great, and they're both summery. My official vote is for Rhapsody in August. That one just spoke to me more.
Yeah. Actually, I agree with that. Oh. So...
That was easy.
Yeah, let's just do Rhapsody in August. I'm sorry, Summer Interlude.
No, yeah. Oh.
I really like that movie, but... And we own it. It's up here.
We have it.
We have it. But yeah, Rhapsody in August has more of a...
I think there's more layers there. But that's not shade.
No. This is sad. This is like really sad.
It's sad. It's sad.
It is sad. Okay, so we have A Snake of June versus Rhapsody in August.
The 2 months going against each other. You have both of these rated pretty similar.
Yeah, I have both of them at 3.5. Like them both. So I guess I'm going to have to make a decision. And that decision is...
So join us next time for round 3, where we will be going through yet another 8 movies.
Like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know which movie you want to make into the top 4. And we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.
Bye.